Alright guys, and before we get into how we smashed the Gucci Lord himself and the Alabaster Strike structure decks together, feel free to smash that like button, subscribe, and tell me what I did wrong or what I did right in the comments below, and tell me if there's any alterations I should make since the new ban list just dropped. Alright guys, so as you know, I have a massive love for Big Daddy Eldlich, but I have been thinking about having some fun, and let's see if we can make this deck a bit branded. Oh yeah, that's right, that only works in here. Got three of the structure decks. Let's see how this works. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, still gotta open it. Alright. Alright, so we got these opened up. Get rid of those. Let's check out this playmat. I actually might frame this, to be honest. This is the first structure deck I think I bought in forever. I like this. I might frame it. Or one of them. Alright, let's get rid of that. Alright, we got three of these Albast decks. We got my nice Eldlich deck. And we got a stack of additional branded and zombie cards. Let's see what we can do. I don't know what we can do. My chair keeps on breaking. But let's see how we can get it. Alright? Oh yeah, that's right. Shit, still gotta build a deck. Snapping doesn't work. Alright guys, and we have finally done it. We have combined 3 of the Alabaster Strike structure decks, along with Eldlich, the Golden Lord, and Zombie World. And we have saved DPE, since the most current ban list has just dropped. Fortunately for us, it really didn't affect much. It just took Anaconda Verde out of the extra deck. Not much going there. Now let's break down this 60 card monstrosity. Alright guys, and so this is the deck that we have combined. We have taken Branded, we have taken Eldlich and DPE from the Brink of Destruction after this current ban list. And this is the deck that went 4-0 at my locals Friday night box tournament. And now let's just get into this deck and let's talk about it. First things first, I broke this down into packages. I didn't break it down into spells, traps, and monsters for the most part. I went with 2 of the Golden Lord. This has so many plays with Albion and a bunch of the other branded fusions that it becomes such a great target for those, just to make a lot of plays. I did end up OTKing a bunch of people. The decks and the matchups I had were 2 Flunderies, 1 Dragon Link, and a Plunder Patrol. The Plunder Patrol was the biggest issue I had, but Dragon Link and Flunderies, I went 2-0. And Plunder Patrol, I won 1, lost a second, and then I won the third. Next is a Lord of Heavenly Prison. Again, he's something that can be searched for a target as a 3,000 attack point beat stick. Also has protection of the back row, and it just makes it so that it could be a wall. And it's also a thing that you can aim for Glory Dragon. Though I don't necessarily think I would ever search for Glory Dragon as part of that, mainly because there's a lot better targets, especially Necroworld Banshee, because of the interaction with getting Zombie World on the field, especially when you realize you're playing Flunderies or something that relies on a type. Next, 3 of the Scarlet Sanguine, 3 Conks, and that's the entire package. I really wish I did play Hakero, but I really didn't think too much of it at the time. But I realized that as stuff went on, especially with Plunder Patrol, that I am going to need all of the Golden Land trap monsters, except for the Golem, just because that didn't really pan out for me the last time I used them. Now just the Zombie World package. Again, you can search out Necro Banshee with the Glory Dragon so easily, and also I have Premature Burial in this, so you have 3 ways of accessing besides the direct access. And then Zombie World, you essentially just are able to get it out straight from the deck. If you draw into Zombie World, that's fine too, but I strongly prefer to have her in the deck. She's not a brick, but she's definitely not one that you want to draw into. Next, 3 of the Branded Fusions. I really do like the Branded Fusions a lot. Again, it makes it you can search out the Eldlich Get in the Grave, Necroworld Banshee Get in the Grave. If you want Lord of Heavenly Prison in the grave, you can. I don't know why you would, but you can. 2 Branded White, you get to fuse pretty much from anywhere on the field, graveyard, or banish pile. Branded Loss, this is just protection right here. This is the biggest reason I have this out, is just protection of being able to fuse off without having too much consequence. Branded Bond, it never came up. It's trash in my opinion, so I'm getting rid of that. 3 Albaz. This is the best normal summon monster in the entire deck, and it's one of the best normal summon monsters, period. And I really love it. It's also got an 1800 attack point beat stick, but that's not really what we want. Here's another brick, Albion. It's a brick, but it helps you get shit back. This is my replacement for Anaconda Verte. This is Keeper of the Dragon Magic, and essentially you're able to get your Fusion Destiny into your hand by discarding a card. If you have Necroworld Banshee and this in your hand, you can easily get Zombie World to be in play and not really deal with much. And the great thing is, because the Branded Fusion does not have a limit on you being able to do anything after, you can immediately do the Branded Fusion, get all of your stuff out. You can get Zombie World out, you can get Eldlich into the grave, you could do whatever you want, and then you still also have DPE to be able to put on the field. 3 kits. This is just for searching for branded, and it helps you recycle bricks, but there's only really 1 brick in the deck, Albion. So this gets you the Branded Fusion. That's really the only reason I play it. Our interruptions right here, Tri-Brigade Mercure, because I essentially just slammed together the deck, the starter deck or the structure deck. I had to go with this as the main form of negation. Then the Destiny, the package for DPE, pretty standard, and also the Scythe Lock is in it. So again, Destiny Fusion, the best 2 targets, Dasher and Celestial, and then I run 2 of the Artifact Scythe in this, because once people realize you have Eldlich, they start really respecting your back row, and they start putting in a lot of removal. So the attempt to make them pay off the removal is so that even if they destroy DPE, or if they make it so that it negates the effect of this, you can definitely just set the other one, because most people don't expect the second copy of Artifact Scythe in your deck. And it did come up once during Plunder Patrol. 1 Foolish. This is mainly for Necroworld Banshee. I have no other real reason to get that in the deck. I'm guaranteeing there's other targets viable in this, but Necroworld Banshee, or if I was going for the kill at that point in time, it would be Eldlich going into the grave. And then, so we can dig a bit deeper, I chose to go with Pots of Extravagance. I did try to playtest with Pot of Prosperity, but 1, Pot of Prosperity is way too expensive, and 2, I'd rather have more cards in my hand than just 1 good card. And then, because it came off the ban list, I definitely chose Change of Heart. This is mainly a going second card, in my opinion, but it's legal, and the thing is, it immediately makes it so that your opponent has to activate some kind of negate, or you just take their monster and you have open field. hopefully, or you just take away one of their things. So it's just one of those things that has to be respected when it's put on the board. And then this is just a hand trap package that I run. It's your pretty standard. These are light targets, like be on the field, doesn't matter. So yeah, just Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom. Nothing too unique about that. I only ran 2 Super Poly targets, and I really should have run 3. I mean, not targets, 3, just Super Polys. I ran 2, I should have run 3. But this worked out just well. It came up once or twice in the entire 4 games. 2 imperms. This really helped a lot when getting rid of Flunderies with M-Pen or any of their things. 3 warning points. This was a good card. It did end up making it so a lot of people just would summon something and then just end their turn because they couldn't get started, especially if I was going first, and then I could get like Eldlich set up, I could get the Scythe Block set up, and then I could get like a conch on the field. It really started to mess them up, and it started to make it so that they couldn't really play Yu-Gi-Oh, which is the goal of all the games. And then 2 skill problems. I only chose 2 skill drain. At the time I didn't have 3, now I have 3, so I'll definitely be bumping that count up. And then 2 Angry Beardmans. This, I don't know why this is such an overlooked card. It was so good in the 2013, 2012 formats when I played last, and then when it first came out I thought it was trash, but I was also 10, so forgive me. This is the extra deck. 2 Albions. Again, this gets Eldlich into the grave. This also does all the plays that can get you Mirror Jade out. 1 of the Glory Dragon. This again, Eldlich is a good Eldlich target. I do like it, and this right here coming up is my favorite target. Glory Dragon. This is just the best target for it because it essentially makes so that you can get Necroworld Banshee out and start getting some of the Zombie World shenanigans out. The current build of this deck that I'm working on is a lot more tailored towards having this be the main target, but we will see how that pans out over the next few weeks. I'm not going to YCS just because it's a 13-hour drive. I thought it was a lot closer, but I don't live in Jersey anymore, so I can't really do that. Now, this is a Ash Dragon. It didn't come up once at all. It wasn't one of my go-to targets, but I kept it in there because it wasn't a structure deck and I thought it would, but it could have brought Eldlich into the play if Extravagance kind of got rid of the other things to break it out. I put 2 of those in. 2 copies of Iron Dash Dragon. Again, didn't come up, although, you know, I know situations that it could have come up, especially against Plunder Patrol. 2 Mirror Jade Dragons. Again, MVP. You definitely want to get this out on the field, especially if you get Eldlich with a conch. The best board that I had was Eldlich with a conch. Zombie World was on the field. This, and I had a face down skill drain and a judgment, and that was like the fuck off board of the game. Now these are just the Super Poly targets. Again, you're just going with the most basic things of the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and you're also going with the Nether Soul Dragon. If you hear Puperinos borking, that's my Puperinos. And then finally, just DPE. It's DPE. With this, it really works. Again, Keeper of the Dragon Magic kept this thing alive, in my opinion, although Anaconda Oferte was the go-to. I am happy Anaconda Oferte is gone, even though I did run it in all of my decks, like everyone else should. But it is what it is. I'm not dealing with it too much. Now, the side deck, I run more of a Zombie World package. So this is for the Flunderies, Tri-Brigade, Sword Soul, anything that really relies on a type. this was my go-to. And for the Brandon Mirror matchup, this kind of helped. Although I really should have kept Rivalry of the Warlords, and it probably would have stopped everything else. Then, 2 Spooky Ghost Girls, Ghost Spell. Didn't side it once. Then 2 Artifact Lancia. This came up quite a bit, especially with the Flunderies matchups. 2 of the Token Collectors. The Plunder Patrol that I played was a use the adventure package, so I did end up using the Foolish Burial to get this into the grave and stop their stuff. 2 Dark Ruler No More. Hadn't cited that in, but it was an option I thought it would come up. 3 of the Anti-Spell Fragrance. I did switch this in with the Dragon Link player. It did help quite a bit. And then finally, the last thing I have is a Harpy's Feather Duster. I really like the Harpy Feather Duster. I do have the one from the video game, but this is not it. I have that one sitting in my binder. That is for myself. But that's the only true form removal I have that is solely a spell user removal. Because I really like using either DPE to remove, or I like using Eldlich's hand effect to get rid of stuff. It's just one of those things that I usually use as a go-to for removal. But if they're playing a lot of back row heavy stuff, and I can't just bulldoze through it, I'll throw this in as the extra card. And then finally, I do have some tokens that, I mean, I used them for the Necro Dragon, but I didn't use them for anything else. I really didn't see a point. And that's the deck. Nothing really spectacular, but it did go 4-0. It did run through Flunderies, and it did run through Dragon Link. Plunder Patrol was a bit more back and forth, but that's because I really haven't seen too much Plunder Patrol. I've seen one other person run it. And that's it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what I did wrong, what I did right, what you think I should do to improve this build. And I will definitely see you all next time. Peace.